Hey everyone, welcome in. I am so excited to be here on time tonight. I'm actually on time tonight, so I'm super proud of myself. I am Julie Maxon, the main stamper, and you are joining me for a fabulous card class tonight. We are going to be using Memorable Blooms, the bundle by Stampin Up, and I have so much to talk about this bundle. I am really excited. So 8 o'clock, here I am. Like, surprise! So I'm going to wait a second and I'm going to chit chat and wait for my first person to find me. Normally I'm a little bit late. If you're watching this on replay, you never know what I'm going to talk about, so it's kind of fun to check it out. But you could also fast forward it a little bit if you wanted to. We are going to talk about Memorable Blooms, which is back in stock. That's like the most amazing news right now. It is back in stock. A couple weeks ago, it was out of stock. Now, Memorable Blooms is important to the month of February because I'm using it tonight's card class, and I'm also using it for my February card maker club. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about both of those things because some of you have been checking out Card Maker Club and you're kind of wondering what's going on. What is Card Maker Club? Hi Kathy, thanks for telling me we're doing good. So we're going to talk about the differences between my card classes, which you're watching right now. This is a free card class for you to watch. You can get card kits when you order with me, and it's a weekly event. And then we're going to talk about Card Maker Club, which is a monthly event and completely different. So I may use the same bundle. I use it 1 week for a class, and then I use it for the month for the Card Maker Club. So that's where I think some of my friends are a little bit confused. They are completely different cards. Card Maker Club is kind of like you're in the club. It's like secret stuff. I don't share images of those cards. I don't talk about it too much. So it's kind of like a best kept secret, but I'm going to spill some beans a little bit tonight. So again, we're talking about Card Maker Club versus the regular weekly online card class for Maine, which you're watching right now. All right, so Memorable Blooms. We're going to get over to my workspace because I'm actually going to dive into. I have a Card Maker Club kit from last month, from January. We're going to dig it out. Hi, Patty. So you can see what really is inside when it arrives to you. All right, so Memorable Blooms. Make sure you guys are saying hi as you jump on. I love when you share some love with me. So please like, love, comment, all of the things here. It really helps me out. It helps my video to find more people. When more people are interested, Facebook is like, hey, maybe some other people might like to check this out too. So that's helpful to me. So please don't ever be shy about hitting that like button, commenting. I do like to know who's hanging out with me in the craft room. You guys are very important to me. Hi, Barbara. And I love to say hi to you too. So eventually I'm going to turn away from the comments and I'm going to do the class, so then I won't really see them until the end. But I love to share all my information with you. So let me just make sure I can get over to my workspace. We're going to transition over, and here we go. We're going to talk about the Memorable Blooms. Hi, Sandra Johnson. I am so excited you're here, and you're here just in time. We're going to talk a little bit about the Memorable Blooms, all of the things, right? So this is your regular weekly card class from Maine. I am in Maine, in case you didn't know that about me. Julie Maxon, the Maine stamper. This is the Memorable Blooms card class with your $45 order. This week, you're getting 4 card kits. Just like every week, right? I have 4 card kits for you. These are the beautiful card kits. So you're going to see some really pretty springy colors here. We've got some DSP, we've got some die cuts, we've got some ribbon and twine, we got an embossed piece here, some punch pieces, all of those things. $45 order is going to get you these in the mail. When you order $55 this week, you're going to get the embellishment. These are the party dots. I love that they're called party dots. They come in 3 colors. We've got Pretty in Pink, Pool Party, and Peach Pie. So they're very springy also, right? Does this not remind you of the candies that we used to eat on a piece of paper? Those little sugar candies? I love candy. Oh my gosh. Hi, Julianne. It's great to see you. Oh my gosh. So exciting. All right. So this is your card kit offer for the week. You're getting emailed recipes. So make sure you're on my email list so I can get those card recipes to you. The host code this week is new. It's NEYRMNKX. That's a mouthful. We're probably going to keep this one through the end of February. And this offer for this card class this week is good. Today's Monday and it goes through Friday. So you have the week to get this if you want it. We're going to use this host code through the end of February. We have 3 weeks left of Sale-A-Bration. So when you go over 60 this week and the next 3 weeks, you can get a free Sale-A-Bration item, which is really important. Sale-A-Bration's winding down. All right, Memorable Blooms. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the class, but this is Memorable Blooms Stamp Set and Dies. It's found on page 50 of your spring catalog. Okay, this is our class tonight. So we just discussed that this is a class. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the difference between class and club. Let me see if I can move this without dumping it on the floor, because we're going to come back to this. So this is what a class is. You're watching it right now. It's free. Isn't it exciting? Like, you're not paying me anything to watch this. You don't have to sign up. You're just finding this on Facebook or YouTube, and you're watching the video to get card design ideas, color coordination ideas, all of the fun ways that I'm using a product that you're like, oh, I didn't know it could do that, right? It's a free online card class, but I always feature a bundle. And today's bundle this week happens to be Memorable Blooms. So I'm featuring a bundle. This bundle is going to be in all 4 of my cards. You're going to get 4 card kits in the mail with your $45 order, which we just talked about, right? Embellishment for $55. We covered that. The offer runs for a week at a time, Monday through Friday. Weekends are flexible. So I cut cards on the weekends and I send out the kits typically on a Monday. So this class that you're watching right now, these card kits will go in the mail next Monday. Now, next Monday happens to be President's Day, so it's actually going to be Tuesday. And Tuesday depends on if the postal worker comes to my office. So sometimes it's a fluctuating Monday through Wednesday situation, but they are like a week out from the time that I do the card class online. And you get the email recipes, kits ship following Monday. So last week we did Meant to Be card class. The kits went in the mail today. The postman was at the office at work, picked up all my little blue packages. I'm really excited about that. If you've gotten a card kit from me, you know what a little blue package looks like. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that too. So that's the weekly card class offer. And I'm using Memorable Blooms this week. I'm also using Memorable Blooms for my February Card Maker Club. So let's talk about Card Maker Club. Oh, wait, back up the bus. I wanted to show you. This is what a kit looks like. This happens to be one from Hugs for You card class from January. So they come in a little cellophane wrapper. You've got your embellishment on the back side if you ordered enough to get the free embellishments, right? It's a kit. You open this up. This is a resealable little bag. You've got your paper. It looks like this inside. So it's going to give you a picture of all of the cards that were in the class. It gives you the video link. You'd have to type this in. It's not hyperlinked. If you feel like you think a QR code would be helpful here, let me know, because I can probably start adding these. I didn't think of that. It's going to tell you the date of the card class. So you can go on my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, look up this date we did this class, right? So you've got your flyer in here, and then you've got all your card kits in here, just like you're seeing tonight. So all your card kits are in here, all your parts and pieces. And that is what your weekly card class looks like, this cute little kit. Now, besides this flyer, actually, we're going to skip to another flyer because I couldn't find the card recipes. So besides the flyer with all your pictures, you're also getting emailed recipes that you can print. They are full sheet pages, I should say. You've got card recipes, supplies used, directions. So you're getting 1 per card. So you're getting 4 of these in my weekly classes, unless I do more than 4 cards, right? So you get the idea of what the card class looks like, the weekly. It goes on and on and on, which is fantastic because we love the classes, right? We love the classes. Now let's take a look a little bit about the Card Maker Club. This is where we're going to talk about Card Maker Club for a second. So it's an exclusive club membership with unique cards. These cards are different from the class cards, and I have case in point. So for January, for example, we did the Butterflies card class. I had 4 cards. These were my 4 cards. I did this as a live, Facebook Live class. So I had 4 card kits. This was the class. You could order $45 during the week. $55 got you the embellishment, right? So you can go online and see all these. So this class came and everybody got their card recipes, right? So you've got a picture of the card, all the stuff that goes with this particular class. And then we go to Card Maker Club. Now, Card Maker Club is a little bit different. So these were the 4 cards that we did on the online class. These are the 4 cards that I sneak peeked. If you can see them, I'm not sure where my camera is right now. I sneak peeked 4 additional cards. This was for January. These were Card Maker Clubs. These are class cards, but I used the same bundle. So I'm just hoping that you guys can see these. So very similar, some different colors perhaps, different designs. So they're always different when you do Card Maker Club. And with Card Maker Club, so it's really great to have, like, if you love a bundle particularly, Card Maker Club. So this is the 4 cards that we did. Now what I want to show you is on the card recipes, I've got 4 different pictures here of assembly. Because I don't do an online class, I add more pictures in so you can get more ideas of what it is exactly that I'm talking about when I'm giving you the directions. So it gives you all that kind of good information. So that's kind of the difference between class and club. And then with the Card Maker Club is an exclusive club membership. So you have to sign up to do the Card Maker Club. And these cards are unique from my classes, so they are different. Anytime, you can join anytime, and it auto renews. So basically you're going in, there's a PayPal link. You don't have to have PayPal, you can just go onto the link. It's going to take your debit or credit card information. It's going to auto renew for you. So if you signed up today, today's February 10th, March 10th, it would auto renew and pull for March Club. If you sign up on the 15th, it pulls on the 15th. So you get an idea of when it's going to renew. You can cancel it at any time. So you are in control of the sign up and the cancellation. So you get to go in and choose when you want to start and stop. The monthly featured bundle is available to members at the catalog price, and you can add it on if you want to. So you don't have to add it on. Here's the Memorable Blooms, new in package. Because this is not mine, I'm not sending you mine, I'm giving you a brand new bundle. It comes with your card kit if you so desire to get it, and it's at the catalog price, so I'm paying shipping and tax. Again, you don't have to add on the bundle if you don't want to. It would be a separate charge because your auto renewal is going to go in at $45 automatically, so then I would send you a link to pay, Venmo or PayPal, for the bundle at the catalog price if that's what you wanted to do. So that's a benefit of the Card Maker Club. And then you receive 8 surprise cards, and I say surprise because you don't see them ahead of time. You see the class cards ahead of time because you're watching me do a video, but you don't know exactly what the cards are going to look like. You're getting 2 each of 4 designs. You're getting half a pack of DSP, an embellishment, and a ribbon. You're getting fun gifts and samples. You get a free gift with 6 consecutive club months. You get a free gift if you're a first-time club member. You get a referral gift if your friend stays in club for 3 months. And then we get detailed email recipes, which I showed you. I have more pictures in these recipes. Sign up by the 20th of the month for the current month's club kit. The kits will ship, and I'm saying after the 25th of the month, so around or shortly after the 25th of the month. So you're really going to be getting them the first of the following month. So this Card Maker Club where we're doing Memorable Blooms for February, you're really going to be putting them together, if not the end of February, early in March. So I keep that in mind when I'm designing them, so that I'm not sending you Valentine's Day cards this month because Valentine's Day will be over by the time you get your February Card Maker Club. So we are doing Memorable Blooms. And coming soon, private Facebook club group. I want to be able to share more information with you so that you'll have all of that good stuff. So let's talk a little bit more about what a club kit looks like. So here's this little blue package. The January club actually featured 6x6 DSP. I'm gonna bust this open. This happens to be one of my girls' club kits that she's gonna come pick up on Saturday in class. So Cindy, if you don't want to see what's in your kit, close your eyes, don't look. Don't look if you don't want to see it. I'm gonna try to get into this. I've never actually opened one of these. I'm only sealing them and putting them in the mail. So I don't want to destroy anything. Okay, hopefully we're good. I'm gonna start this is, again, January club kit. January is come and gone, so you can't get this one. I'm just sharing with you what's inside, besides cards, and besides DSP and all the good stuff. All right, so I'm sending, there's a nice piece of cardboard in here to keep everything hopefully secure as it comes through the mail. Here is, oh my gosh, this is all the good stuff that's inside here. Yes, okay. And here it is. So again, you're getting a nice package here. This is going to tell you at the top here that it's Card Maker Club for January 2025. We used Beautiful Butterflies bundle. I have blue plastic on my fingers. Thank you for participating in Card Maker Club. Your tutorials will be emailed to you around the 25th of the month. Have an amazing day, all of the good stuff, right? So inside, and then on the back side, we have all of these things inside. So this is your Card Maker Club from January. And I already shared the cards with you. So you saw the cards. And this is the pack that just has 2 each of the 4 card kits. And we have a free gift. I put free gifts in every one of my Card Maker Clubs. A little sample of something. This is a sample of the Pastel Ombre Glimmer Specialty Paper. So there's a little sample in here. There's 4 different, I think 4 different colors of glimmer paper in that little freebie. You get a half a pack of the DSP. So this is we did Bokeh, beautiful bokeh DSP. And it comes, again, so I'm not taking the DSP apart and then just sending you loose sheets. They are in a little plastic package. And I also did something new that I did, and I really like this. I'm giving you an idea of what is inside. So normally these DSPs come and they share with you, the back side has like a little thing on it, right? The Stampin' Up, right? It tells you all this fine print, designer series paper, what colors they are. So I've typed them out. I put a little sample here so you'll know ahead of time like what colors are going to go here really nicely. There's your DSP. You get a full ribbon. They're unopened. You get a full embellishment depending on what it is. This is the little bokeh mix. And then you get a little treat for me too. This is the Valentine's treat I sent out. So a cute little bag. This one happens to have 2 peppermint patties in it. We did butterflies for January, so there's like a little butterfly. Whatever the theme is, I make the little bag of candies match. Now this is, you can pop this off and put this on a card, make a tag out of it. So there is a look at what you would have received in the January club if you had signed up and requested to be part of club. So that's what that looks like. And then this is a really nice bag. I will rebag this nicely for Cindy, but for now I'm just going to put it in here. And this is a new bag that I've tried out. So it's got the resealable top on it, which I think will be really nice as well. So that is Card Maker Club. And that's all the good stuff in Card Maker Club, plus, plus all, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun and surprises in it. So I just wanted to share with you that they are different cards featuring the same bundle. In case anyone has any questions, you can pop them into the comments. I'm not seeing any questions on Card Maker Club, so you guys must be getting the idea of exactly what it is. Again, you can join anytime. If you want the Memorable Blooms Card Maker Club for February, stick around to the end of this class because I'm going to share with you a peek at the cards, a peek at the designer paper, the ribbon, and all of that good stuff so you can see what you'll be getting with Memorable Blooms for February. Now you may wonder how I decide when I decide what's going to be the following month's club. When I send out the Card Maker Club recipes after I've mailed the kits, in that email to my card members, I tell them next month's bundle will be, so they get a little idea of that. And then on the first week of the month, typically I'm doing a card class with the bundle that I'm going to feature for the monthly club, as well as a weekly class. So you're basically getting 8 different card designs with the bundle, which gives you a ton of value, especially if you love it. Now if you don't love the bundle, you don't have to get the bundle. You can still get the Card Maker Club, take all of those consumable products and card kits and use something else. For example, if someone didn't want to do butterflies in January, all of those cards, you could have put hearts in here instead, right? So instead of a butterfly, you could have put hearts, flowers, you get the idea that you can switch them up. So those were the Card Maker Club club ones for January. So there we go. I wanted to share that with you. I've had a few people asking me questions about Card Maker Club. What's the difference between club and class? So hopefully that helps you out. And if you have further questions, please let me know, especially in the comments, and we will check them out together. Okay, we're going to move on to card class for tonight, and we are again using Memorable Blooms. So back to our regular scheduled program. Memorable Blooms is fantastic. It is back in stock. Now this is a red rubber stamp set, and I've noticed that there's not as many red rubber stamp sets anymore. A lot of them are photopolymer. Stampin' Up! Randomly has issues getting red rubber in, so the red rubber stamp sets are going to be the ones that are going to go on back order. And that's what happened with Memorable Blooms a couple weeks ago, and I panicked because I had already picked it out for my February club. So but we are covered. It's back in stock. We've got it for the class. It's fantastic. You're going to love this one. So none of my cards will look anything like the samples on page 50, which is a good thing because this gives you some ideas here as well. Now you're getting 2 sheets of dies. The dies do not come on magnet sheets. I just get 4x6 magnet sheets off Amazon, stick them to the sticky tape that's on the back of the cardboard that they come on, and then I put my dies on here. So we've got 3 big dies that are going to outline 3 of our images and our stamp set. So we've got lots of florals and leaves here. And then you're going to have this really fun leaf die, which we're going to play with tonight because we're going to do a couple of leaves. But it's just a really nice amount of leaf where you can actually put something else around it and have a little bit top and bottom. That's one of my favorite ways to use the leaves. And then you've got this really awesome octagon. This is like a stop sign. This is what it looks like right here. So it's got some stitching right here on this piece that pops out of this die. You're going to see some extra stitching on the top though, and I'm going to share with you how you can get this onto your card as well. And then you've got a detailed piece, so these are two separate pieces that you can use together, and it's a lot of fun and fabulousness. This was a great bundle. I had so much fun designing 8 different cards for this bundle. Again, check out the end of the class. I'm going to share with you the Card Maker Club cards so you can see what's in them. And then we're going to get popping onto the class of the week. I'm so excited. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you on here. Welcome in. We are getting started on our class tonight. I have 4 cards to share with you. So again, these were your card kits, and we're going to start out with the As Your Afternoon card. We're going this one first. Now your freebie embellishment, you're going to see that doesn't really match, but that's okay because I'm giving you some twine. So you're still getting a little embellishment in this card kit. It's just, I mean, and you could, if you wanted to, you could pop these on. I mean, they don't unmatch. They're just not matchy-matchy. But don't worry, we're going to cover matchy-matchy soon. So your card kit's going to have a card base, an A2 size card base. Yours will not be scored in half, so you're going to have to do that at home. And you're going to get some different cardstock. This one comes with Everyday Arch dice already done for you. I am loving this one, and I think I told you that when I did this class. I'm like, expect to see arches pretty much every week because I love them so much. I'm sending you 3, and you're getting another piece of designer series paper. So you can see there's a lot of white and blue here. Let me see if I can find my cards so we can check this all out. Roxana has a comment. She says, I love Card Maker Club. There's always more supplies left over after you make the cards. I also love Julie's card recipes because they're always one page. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Roxana. That's a great a plug for Card Maker Club. I know Roxana is in my Card Maker Club. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So much fun, right? To get that surprise in the mail. Oh my gosh. All right, so here's card number 1. This one says, you've been on my mind. We didn't talk about the sentiments. There's a lot of sentiments in this Memorable Blooms bundle stamp set. You mean the world to me is fantastic. Thanks so much. I use this a lot in my own like normal verbiage. I'm always saying thanks so much. You are awesome is the only one that I probably wouldn't use as much, although it would be really awesome to get a card that says you are awesome. So I probably should think about using that one more. Love and thanks. You've been on my mind is one of my absolute favorites, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness. So some really genuine sentiments in here, like sentiments that you would use, sentiments that you would send out, right? They're not, you know, really crazy sentiments. They're like genuine, concern, caring, loving sentiments. So you've been on my mind. We're doing this with the As Your Afternoon. You can see that little leaf here popped out just like so. So I'm going to basically show you how you're going to put this card together. I'm using 2 inks for this one, As Your Afternoon and Pebbled Path. Pebbled Path is a retiring in color. It's going to be going away end of April. If you don't have the 23-25 in colors and refills, markers, blends, please get them now. They are sometimes on low inventory. Sale-A-Bration's a great time to get all of these items before they're gone because they go fast at the end. Those are the colors we're using. We're going to be using some blends. I've got As Your Afternoon. This is the color lifter. Even though it's white, it doesn't color white. It just removes color. We're going to check that out a little bit. I've got Old Olives. Those are my blends. I've got a couple of stamps. I'm trying to be a little bit more organized today. And the twine is coming from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, which right now I just have the white in here. I actually have mine separated out. You have, I think there's 5 different colors of really natural twine that you can get in this particular twine pack. Okay, so we're going to do our card, and we're going to just kind of put the bones together here a little bit real quick. I opened up a new glue, so hopefully it's kind to me. All right, let's just start with the basics of our card kit. You've got white and you've got designer series paper. This DSP comes from Everyday, no, let's change that to Mixed Media Florals. Look at that. Check it out. Oh my gosh. What a cute flip. Now we're not going to do this tonight because I have something else in mind, but this arch covers up too much of that. Really cute. We could put the arch like this though. This is where we play a little bit sometimes, right? So if you wanted to do something different, you could tuck your arches behind, keep your DSP here front and center, maybe put in a sentiment down here. I'm just playing for a hot second. Reality, we're going to put this really cute little pattern down. So I wanted to let you know that this is what you're getting. We're keeping the blues up. This is a very blue white and blue friendly card. So your designer series paper is matted onto this white cardstock, and it's just going to come here onto your card base, right like so. And I've got it kind of more toward the left. You can obviously change as you so desire. Just make sure that you guys can see everything okay. I think that you can. I'm going to just turn my camera a little bit so I can see what you can see. So I'm really not looking at your comments right now. Okay, so this piece right here that you're going to get, you're going to take your Memorable Blooms dies, and you're going to die cut this beautiful leaf out of this color, and here it is, just like this. So here, this is going to go on. Look how pretty these colors are together. I'm going to set this one aside because we don't need that. Now, I don't send you anything that goes with the bundle that I'm featuring. So for example, I'm sending you Everyday Arch dies because I'm not featuring the Everyday Arch bundle. I already did that. I did that a couple weeks ago because it was my favorite. So anytime I use that now, you're going to get Arch dies. But if I was featuring it, then that's when you have to buy your own. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here, and I'm going to pop this on here, and it's just oh so lovely. I already love the colors. Now this right now, I mean, you could keep it this simple. This would be a really nice sympathy card, I think. Like, right, it's got that just really calming, relaxing demeanor to it. But we're going to stamp and we're going to decorate and all that good stuff. So we're going to start with Pebbled Path ink, which is a nice dark gray. And which way do I want to go? I think I want to go this way. This is a big stamp, so I'm going to just face it up and ink up my stamp this way. Okay, and then we're going to ink this right onto, and it will fit just nicely. Now, not photopolymer, so you have to really take advantage of what the image looks like on the opposite side. When you put that little sticker down, you can kind of see which end is up and all that good stuff. And there it is. Look how pretty that is. Now that really doesn't even need to be colored in, I think. I think it looks pretty just like that. But we are going to make it even more beautiful, as you can see from my sample. I'm just going to give this a quick swipe on my chamois because we are using this one again. Like, it's always exciting when I have to clean something off that you're going to see more than once. All right, let me set that aside. Now we're going to just do some really quick coloring. Really quick coloring. We're not going to take too much time. I'm going to start with the flowers. I like the nub end here. I didn't color any of these ahead. I probably should have, but I'm just going to color here, and I'm just going to color everything in top to bottom for flowers. And I'm just going to do a quick color. So that way, if you're doing this at home with me, when you get the card kits in the mail, you rewatch this because you're like, yeah, let's do a card class, Julie. I'm going to just hang out with you, and I'm going to answer your questions while you're asking them during this live, even though I probably watched it once. And it's like we're visiting, right? We're just having a good old time here. I don't know if any of you guys are tired from watching the Super Bowl. Yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday. And I had a little poll up on my page, my Facebook page, and I said, were you in it for the food? Oh, actually I started with football. Football, food, commercials, or stamping. Because of course stamping has to be involved in my day, right? Like, I just wanted to see who was doing what. And a lot of my stamping friends had stamping on the agenda. And I said, that is awesome, because that's pretty much what I did all day yesterday too. So there we go. There's our little blue flowers. We started with the lighter color. Now you can come back in and you can shade in a little bit with the darker color. I'm just going to kind of touch the middles here this time. I'm not going to get too crazy. Now, you may have noticed at the beginning, and if you've been around a little bit, everyone says, don't use regular ink, which I should cover. Don't use watercolor ink with Stampin' Blends. You should use Memento ink. Memento ink, and I for the longest time, that's what I said too. And you should. You can use Memento ink, absolutely. The a lighter color is going to be a little less harsh, and it's also going to blend the lines. It's going to blur the lines, so it's not going to be perfectly these little leaf lines and these little flower lines. They're going to kind of smear together, so it's going to give you a different vibe. Let's just go with that. Like if you use Memento, the black Memento ink, none of these lines would smear. They would all be perfectly crisp, and you would see every little detail. But when you use a different a watercolor ink, like any of the ink pads, and the blends, because the blends are alcohol markers, they don't really go together. So that is why it's always recommended to use Memento, but I have been finding that I'm a rule breaker lately, and I'm okay with that. So just go ahead and use whatever it is that you want. If you prefer Memento ink, you can definitely use it. But the rules for crafting, I have found, right, as I've been told, do this, do that. The rules are really just suggestions and guidelines. When you're being creative, we don't really need to follow rules, right? We just do what our heart tells us to do, and we have fun. And there we go. So there is our green leaves all colored in. And I'm just going to come in here a little bit with some of this darker color and just kind of touch in a few spots just to give it like a little bit of a, just so it's not just all one note, right? So just kind of bring this in. Now you can definitely take your time and go back through, you know, back and forth. I like to go back and forth. I do light and then some dark and light and dark, and we're just going to scribble a little bit more on here just so it's not quite as obvious that I added that second color in. And just like that. That's pretty much all we need. Now the color lifter, as mentioned, will lift off some color. So this is a separate blender pen. And I'm just going to bring it in here and kind of just touch a little bit in here just so you can see. We're going to lighten up some of our petals. So basically we'll kind of wash off some of the color. It's not going to be completely gone, but it will add in another dimension. And it's probably way more noticeable when you see it in person. But it basically kind of erases it, almost gives it a chalky look. Chalk-like look, maybe that's what I mean to say. Just like that. But we're done. We're done coloring, and all we have to do now is put, you can see here the bleed through on when you use the blender pens. It will kind of go through your paper because it's such a rich ink, which I love. I love that it's so rich and easy. It's just kind of oozes right onto your paper for you. Okay, so this is going to come on here with some dimensionals. We're going to grab those. And this card really is very simple to put together. It's a really great layout design. If you're watching at home and you have the arches, you can definitely use this no matter what you're using with this one. There's lots of things you can do to decorate your arches. That's why I love them so much. I love the nesting dies. It's like my favorite thing. All right, so this is going to go on here, right here onto the side. So we've got our little leaf peeking out. We have a piece of DSP in this kit. So this comes from the, this is As Your Afternoon. It comes from the Brights family collection. And I'm just basically going to take, I'm going to make some notches in this. So I'm going to take this corner down here on the bottom right, and I'm going to just come right up to the top, and then I'm going to flip it. Nope, I'm not going to flip it. I'm going to flip it this way. I always do this wrong when I'm doing it live. I can do this without thinking about it. When I stop to think about it, it takes me a minute. I'm going to turn it this way and do the same thing. So my angles are going the same way on each side. That's what I want to do. And then we're just going to put this down. We're going to just find a spot on here and put this across. You could do, oh, you could do little dots. We're going to change it up. Okay, my first change up of the evening. These are never planned either, by the way. All right, so we're just putting this across. This is just giving us interest. It's also a great way to use up little bits of your designer series paper, because we all have those little strips left over when we cut things. I'm going to make a quick little bow out of my twine, just like so. And then, oh, you've been on my mind. You guys have been on my mind. Here's our little die from the Everyday Arches, and then we're going to bring in the As Your Afternoon and our sentiment. Now, again, these are not photopolymer, so you have to be kind of careful. Another thing I want you to know is that sometimes with the red rubber, especially, I hope you can see all this blue ink that I've picked up over here. I picked up a lot of blue ink, and not on purpose. I mean, these stamp pads are pretty juicy. I'm going to bring this in and just kind of stamp this down and make sure that I have some good coverage there. Now, if I roll my block, if I rock it, you're going to see all these little swooshy lines go over and around your sentiment. That's how you get those. If you ever get those while you're stamping, it's because you're rocking your block instead of tapping it down. Straight down and up is going to give you the best image. So now we're going to try. Now that we've practiced a ton, I'm going to go straight down. I don't know how straight I was, but I went down, and there it is, and up. So I don't have those fancy little lines around, which is my goal. I'm okay with a crooked sentiment. I'm usually not very happy when I get the little swooshy lines when I rock my blocks. I don't like to don't rock the blocks. Okay, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so now we're going to put this on, and it looks like I did dimensionals again, so we're going to grab them back out. I always tuck them away because if I don't, I lose them. they get lost so easily. We'll do maybe 3 on this one. 1, 2, 3, right across the middle. And then we're going to put our sentiment piece right here. I love that the arches can be facing in the upright, upside down, sideways position, all over the place. I've got my little twine. I need a glue dot, please. Glue dot. The twine works best with a glue dot. So I'm just going to grab one off of my roll here. I'm going to put that just down here in the corner of my little sentiment piece. I might squish this up a little bit so it's not so fat. Maybe. And we'll put our little bow, just put the knot right there on top of that, and there we go. You've been on my mind. So pretty, right? Oh, I have some scrap paper on there. Kind of detracts from the card. There's card number 1. Super pretty. Now, you'll notice that we used everyday arches. We did not use the fun octagon dies. We're going to be getting into those for the rest of the classes. But I just wanted to share with you that you don't always have to use everything every time. If you're looking for something quick, maybe you've got some extra die cut pieces in your craft room that you didn't get quite onto a project. I do that all the time. Then you can definitely just look around, see what you got, stamp something on it pretty, and there you go. Look at that. So lovely. All right, I'm going to just check comments here real quick. And I would love to know if you like polka dots with the darker paper. I think I do. I think I like it shows up better. Or if you prefer the original with the lighter color designer series paper facing up. Okay, Janice says she loves the blue. I do too. Hi, Kelly. Yes, the blues. I love the blues. So, so pretty, right? Okay, that's card number 1. We're going to jump into the next one here because we got so much to cover with this bundle tonight. Let me put away some of my toys. And we're going to go on to card number 2, which is a little bit more greenish blue. We're going to call this greenish blue. This is a pool party card base, and I love the lighter green blue colors. So you may think this is blue, you may think this is green. You're getting the card base. You're getting some punched pieces. This is from the bow punch, so you're getting some of these in mint macaron. This is soft sea foam and pool party. I miss mint. This is kind of like a minty color, right? So you've got some DSP here that you could, if you wanted to, you could do some mixing and matching. We're going to talk about those great dies in this set, and then we've got all kinds of other things here. Let me find my cards so you can see what we're making next. So this one is You Mean the World to Me. So this is going to be very pool party and soft seafoam. I love these colors together. They're very coastal. They're very calm and relaxing colors. We're going to be really fancy with some of our beautiful stamps and dies. We've got our little stop sign here in the background. We've got a little bit of delicate peek through die coming on here as well. So you can see here that this card looks completely different from this card. I'm just going to share with you, if you flipped your designer series paper over for this card kit, this is what you've got. So you can make a really fun birthday card with this. You could go in a totally different direction. So you could put this on here. You've got your little sprigs. I like to play for just a minute. I hope that you guys get these kits at home and think the same thing. Like maybe you'll play for a little bit here just to see what you like. I'm also testing to see if I might flip designer series paper over from this one to this one as we get going, but I'm not sure yet. Those decisions need to be made maybe a little bit later on. Let's set this aside and let's talk about how we're going to die cut these pieces for this card class, for this card in the class. Okay, here we go. I've got them. I've got them right here. These are the dies. I'm going to bring in my machine. I'm going to show you how these work because sometimes you just don't know until you know, right? Now maybe you have this bundle and you've played with it. I would love to know if you already have this bundle and played with it. I had so much fun with it. We're going to do just the background octagon shape first. So we're just going to put on our paper just this one. So we're not putting in this one yet. We're just doing the background paper die first. And we're going to die cut this. Yes, we're die cutting this. Okay, here we go. I had to stop and think for a minute, like, did I need to die cut this? Sometimes I mean ahead. So you've got your little white paper there. I wanted to share with you that where you have cut this out from has, if I could put it back in here like a puzzle, has additional stitching. The stitching shows up on the throwaway piece, but maybe it's not a throwaway piece. Maybe we're going to use this on another card. It is really cute, right? So your extra stitching shows up right there on this piece. which is really fun. So you get value in both, which is exciting. All right, now we're going to do this one more time. We're going to put our white cardstock back in, and this time we're going to, maybe I have smudges on that side. We're going to put our piece down just like this. Okay, I'm kind of centering it on purpose for this one. And then we're going to put this one down. So your cookie cutter, your sharp edges go down, and they don't fit snugly. So make sure you kind of center this so that it just fits perfectly in there together at the same time. I'm going to push my plate back, decide which way I want my plate to go here for balance. And we're going to die cut it. Here we go. Die cutting away. Oh, side note, we're going to die cut this a couple more times. I forgot about this part. I have found in my machine, and it may not be true of yours, but different die machines have different tension in the rollers. Even if you have the same kind of die machine, they're all a little bit different. I found that I had to go over it a few times, or all of these little bits from this die wouldn't come out as nicely. So you can see here that they really are falling out of this one. And I'm going to just take my pick tool here and just kind of brush off whatever little pieces are still stuck inside. And look at how beautiful this is. So you have to use both of the dies together to get this piece like this. So this, the outside piece cuts out, so you have the shape, and the inside piece cuts out this part. If you just were to put this on your paper, you will not get, you'll have to fussy cut out the edges. So you have to use them together to get this look. Okay, so I wanted to show you how that worked, because that's important. You need to know these things, right? Especially if you're getting this bundle and you're like, okay, cool. Or if you're on the fence about the bundle and maybe you're wondering, what good stuff can I do with it? Because there is really good stuff you can do with it, which is exciting. I love it. All right, let me move things aside so that we don't have everything in the way. Grab a sip of water. Bring in all the stuff. We're gonna do some stamping. I didn't show you all of the inks and things we're using for this one. So for this kit, this card, we're doing Pretty Peacock and Pool Party. For my stamping blends, I have Pool Party, I have a Peacock. This is going to be light Pretty Peacock, and then for the Seafoam, I have light Seafoam. So these are the cards colors I'm using for this card. Pool Party Dauber, and then we're going to do, oh sorry, throwing things in my craft room today. I'm so excited. Flowers, leaves, and we have our sentiment here. So there we go. We got all the pieces ready to go. Let's put this one together. So after you do your die cutting, which we've already done, we need to find the other pieces that came in the kit. We've got a couple pieces right here, and we're going to bring in Pretty Peacock. So just like our first one, our first card, I should say, I am choosing to use the outline in an ink pad color. This is Pretty Peacock, just like that. It's so beautiful. And then on this piece, we're going to do 2 of these flowers. Okay, so you're going to get 2 of them on there in Pretty Peacock, and they do turn out really nicely. I love the color here. And we are going to color with our blends again. So it's going to blur those lines because we're not using the Memento ink. And once again, I am okay with that. I think it works out kind of, it just gives it really a nice, soft, artistic look. I need to clean these off really good because we're going to use these with other colors, and I don't want my inks to smear into other ink pads. Okay, so we've got those. We did the Pretty Peacock. Oh, while we have this out, why don't we do the sentiment? That would be great. You're getting 2 of these white pieces. You're going to see in your card kit 2 of them. And it's not just in case you like mess up the sentiment too many times. There's going to be a purpose for it. For right now, we're just going to pop this on here. You mean the world to me in Pretty Peacock. Really pretty. That turned out nicely. Right? Do you guys at home feel the same joy when you can stamp something like straight and clean and perfect, and you're like, oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Like, it's one of the best things in the world, really. All right, so covering this one up, and I'm going to bring in my die cut ones. I die cut some of these things ahead now. Oh, I die cut that too. Okay, let's see. No. Looking, here they are. Here they are in Pretty Peacock right here. So I die cut these pieces. So you'll have to run this one through twice because there's only one of this die. So you run it through 2 times. And then this one you have the outline for just like so. So you'll die cut those with your dies. And if you're not using these and have other things in mind, go for it. But we're going to do some coloring and make some pretty colors on here. So let's start out with the light Pool Party, and we'll do our flowers up here. So Pool Party may not be your choice for flower colors. I mean, like, I really don't think any flowers in the world are the same color as Pool Party. But for this card, I wanted to keep the colors really monochromatic and simple. And you can see here that it doesn't take a lot of time to just scribble on some color. Basically, that's how I'm coloring. I'm just I'm not taking my time necessarily, although you could. It's very therapeutic, but I don't want to take up too much time. I don't want to make you watch me color all night long. So there we go. We've colored those in. They look really pretty. We're going to bring in the darker Pool Party, and we're just going to shade a little bit, keeping in mind that anything you touch too much with the outline shapes from your stamp image from the pretty peacock are going to blend and smear just a little bit, but that's okay. Just adding a little bit of shading in there. And then we're going to do the leaves. So the leaves are going to be done in light soft seafoam. And there's not a lot to color here, which is kind of my favorite thing, because, you know, a little bit of coloring is great. Quick and easy is my favorite. And the seafoam is a very forgiving color. So if you color out the lines, it's so light you can barely tell. There we go. Now, these are done. Oh, I should have added some color in there. We'll add some color in. All right, now on the leaves, we've got the bigger open spots. And then we've got these really cute little kind of like small areas to color. So we're doing like the opposite this time. We're going to do the big broad leaves in soft seafoam. And if you have the dark blend, you could probably come back in and add a little bit more color. And then we're going to do these cute little sprig type things here. And so these are going to be done in Pretty Peacock. So it's kind of like Pretty Peacock on Pretty Peacock, but the stamping is a little bit darker because I'm using the light blend. So it's not like taking over the space. It's just adding a fine little bit of color. So it doesn't take much to color these in. You're definitely going to want to use the nib end of your blend. Don't use the brush end. If you use the brush end, it's over. You're basically just, you know, take your ink pad and put it upside down on your image, right? It's going to just be so blotchy. There we go. Just like that. We did our coloring and it's super pretty. Now we get to assemble. So see, not super difficult. I try to make good decisions here on my card kits. Can we just talk for a second about the fact that I may want to flip some of this over? This is just really cute paper, and I think I'm going to go this route with it. I feel like this is too busy, but for my class tonight, I'm going to try this and see how I like it. So I'm going to cover up this pretty gold foil floral paper. This is the DSP Wildflower Birthday, and we're going to pretend we're matting. There's not an extra cardstock piece. We're just matting it onto our card base. We're going to put this one at the top, and then we're going to add, this is really pretty. This is my original though, so we're going to put this one down this time. I love these papers. So you have to decide if you want the little scallops facing down or up, and we're going to mat this one over top here. So you're just leaving that border around your entire card front. But we're going to cover the border. We're going to cover the seam, I should say. I like to cover the seam between two pieces of designer series paper with, I call this a belt. This is what, in Julie's stamping world, this is a belt. It's like a fashion accessory, right? So we're covering up that seam. And I wanted the white in here for a little bit of brightness. We do have a bit of white in here. So let's talk about how we're going to put this, our little stop sign die cut together with this. Now on my card, it doesn't, like, you could in theory put this right on over top. It's got a cute little lineup that would be perfect here, but I wanted it to be a little bit more delicate here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to bring in my snips, and I'm just going to cut the edges here so that this section is all that's left. We're doing a little bit of dismantling. So I took off this, let's call this like a handle. I took this off and I'm just using this part of it. So it just shows you a different way that you can use this, especially if you're using different colors. Maybe you have a white background and you have a pretty peacock die cut with the flowers. This would be really, really interesting, especially, you know, if you take that handle part off, instead of being all the way around, it's just toward the bottom. I'm just trying to hit some little glue spots here where there's some space there. All right, so now I'm just going to line up the outside here to the outside of this die cut. So I'm going to just mimic this shape and line them up. And I'm going to turn this over and push this down. I get some sticky stuff all over my hands. There it is on the back. I can feel it. And there we go. So it lends to be a little bit more delicate than if we had left this whole piece on. It just gives it a little bit more airiness. So that's what we're doing with that. Now you don't have to do that at home. You can totally do whatever you like. But I do recommend dimensionals. It does add a lot here. So we're going to pop this on with some dimensionals. I hope you guys are getting some good ideas with this bundle. I love this one. I found that playing with it and making cards with it was just, it was like effortless. There are times, I'm going to tell you a Julie secret, there are times that I struggle with designing. So I always look on Facebook, I look on Pinterest, I try to get some ideas. And then for the most part, I go completely off in my own direction because I don't like to necessarily copy. I like to come up with my own ideas and share them. So here we go. We're going to put this on with dimensionals just like this. Oh, look at how cute that looks already. I love it. Okay, now we get to layer all of these fun things on here because layering is fun. We're going to start before we layer. I've got Pool Party and I've got Pool Party. So these cute little bow punch pieces are, I love them so much, right? So you're going to see here that they look a little bit different, uninked and inked. So we're basically going to take some ink and we're going to add some color to them. So just a little bit of a dauber there and put a little bit just on the edges. You're going to see that I'm kind of holding this kind of tight in my fingers. I'm not leaving it too loose because you will bend these little pieces all over the place. So plan to be inky, but these little leaf ends will bend a lot if you're trying to just do them way out in the air. I keep them kind of snug so that they can't bend. They're kind of, my fingers here are kind of like a splint, basically. They're kind of holding these little leaves, these little leaf petals, so that they don't get too bendy. Okay, so there is my example of that. Just like so. Just add a little ink and make it fabulous. And now we're going to put this together. We're going to, all of these good things are going to be on our card. Let me move things that are not going to be on our card so I don't accidentally put things on the card that shouldn't go on the card. This is where we build up our layers. And I like to start with the leaves, just like this. And we're going to do a little bit of a dry fit here. So I recommend a dry fit at home. We're going to put these little soft seafoam sprig type things here, just like so. And you're getting an idea of, okay, so if I were to put a flower here and a flower here and put my leaf, oh, actually I'm going to put the leaf in the middle. So you get kind of an idea of how the flow is going to go. Then you can bring these up or down as needed because we started with those. So you can adjust those right now, get them into like where you might want them to be, and then very carefully lift off the things that will come on later as we get going. So I'm going to grab some tear and tape. This is my favorite way to do this. I'm going to bring my tear and tape kind of down and up, knowing that other things are going to cover up where my tear and tape is. So I've got tear and tape on here, so it's holding those. We do need to remove the tear and tape because this waxy backing is not going to let anything else stick to it. As I add in more layers, like nothing will stick to the wax. So we're going to remove the backing. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool because it works out really well that way. And now we can start adding in the rest of them. I am going to put a little bit of glue on as I figure out which way I want them to kind of go up or down. Put that one right there. And then we'll just put a little bit of glue here, and we're going to you cover over some of it, absolutely, but you also see some of it. So if you're not a fan of covering over and layering as much, you can definitely back off some of these things if you don't want them all on your card. But there we go, just like that, sweetly layered. Now I did use my super secret weapon, Wink of Stella, and I brushed a little bit of this right onto the card, the flowers, just in the middle. I didn't go crazy and do everything. I just kind of did in those 4 little areas. And it's really hard to see it, but there's a little bit of shine here on there. And I think that just makes it really pretty too. So Wink of Stella. Always add to cart if you're running low. All right, the last thing we need to put on here is our sentiment. And I'm already looking at the color differences and I'm thinking I like this one better. And I didn't think I would. All right, I'm going to angle cut where me ends. And then I'm going to snip kind of close here to you. Not personally, just the sentiment. And then we're going to pop this in here. I'm just going to kind of dry fit this and see where it might work out really well. You just want to make sure that it's going to, you know, not be falling off of your card. That's always important. It's got to fit in an envelope when you pop it in the mail. So just a little bit of adhesive here, and then you can kind of tuck in if you're able to. Tuck in underneath your flowers so that the sentiment maybe looks a little bit more natural. And we're going to pop that right about there, I think. So this one's, my sentiment's a little bit higher. No 2 cards will ever be exactly the same. This sentiment was a little bit lower. But there it is. You mean the world to me. And it was a great card to share with you and show you a different way to use those little die cuts that make up this card kit. Now I need to know, as you're looking at this and I'm cleaning up for a second, I need to know which one you like better, the darker DSP or the lighter DSP. They're both super pretty and I love these colors. And I try to use them whenever I can. I'm going to check messages real quick, make sure you guys can still see or hear me, and I haven't left the building yet. Lois says she's been eyeing this bundle. Oh, I'm glad you're checking it out. Oh my gosh, Lois, I love this bundle so much. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you on here. Okay, Lois loves the Azure Afternoon. That was our first card. Okay, good. And Julianne likes the original. I know. You guys are so awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad you do. I love, this one is very, they're both really pretty. I like them both. I think this one with the more white is definitely a cleaner card, but you have options. That's my favorite thing when I send you the card kits is options, because who doesn't love options, right? Creativity, options are the best. All right, card number 3, we're rounding into it. You're going to see here, we've gone from the blues and greens to a completely poppin' color called Peach Pie. I have a die cut in here that I'm going to grab out because we're going to need that for this one. Peach pie, peach pie. So again, I'm using the Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper. The back side's really not going to be, it's going to vary hugely, because if you look at the DSP online, there's a lot of different aspects to this one, but I love this little like daisy type design and I had to use it. So you're getting a little bit of ribbon with this one. This one comes to you, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has some die cuts through it. It's got like little holes pierced through it. I used a die for that. You're getting pieces to cut your beautiful stop sign shapes. You're getting a couple of really teeny tiny leaves, and you're getting a sentiment piece. Now you may be wondering where this comes from, because I love to mix and match. I absolutely love to mix and match. I don't know if I have it handy, but I'm going to share with you like some of the methods to my madness. This one actually comes from a die set called Autumn Leaves. This is how sad it is right now because I don't have it on a magnetic sheet, but I've got my my sentiment piece. I've got this little stitched piece that I'm sending you, and then there's 2 teeny tiny leaves in this mess. This is the Autumn Leaves dies. So you can see that even though this is an autumn themed die set, I've mixed it into, oh, you guys haven't seen the card yet, have you? Let me show you the card. This card is really fabulous. This one is bright and fun and beautiful, and it says, I appreciate your thoughtfulness. It kind of gets tucked behind the ribbon here, but it is definitely there. So you're going to see all the elements that go into this card. Super pretty. And we've got the party dots. Did I forget to put party dots on my card? I did. Okay, hold please. Back up the bus. I forgot to put the party dots on. All right, let's do this real quick, because the beautiful thing about these cards is they coordinate with the dots, and I didn't even put them on here. All right, I'm going to decide, like right there. Okay, now maybe this is a little bit better. How did I do this one? Oh, I went crazy on this one. I've got 2 here and then 2 here. Oh, this one's tucked over. You can barely see it. I'm going to stick with 3 on this one. But yes, now that I've got the party dots on, it's a party. Okay, so we can continue. The party dots are going to match this card, so make sure that I don't forget to do that when we get to this one, okay? Because this is important. All right, so with your kit, you're going to die cut just the outline shape with the peach pie. So you're just going to run this through your die cutting machine, and you're going to have this piece. This is part of the card design, right? Then you're going to take the white paper and you're going to die cut both of them, much like I did earlier. I think this is the same size. Pretty sure I sent you 4x4s, in case you were wondering. These are all 4x4s. I think I'm gonna have to re-die cut this because we need the other side. So okay, we're gonna do this again. I do have to do one more, so we're gonna do it again. Everything else is here. You're gonna be good to go. But we're gonna do one more time, just in case you missed it or you want to see the magic happen again. We're gonna put this back into our machine, our white cardstock. Now we're going to really try to center the frame. This is important because we're going to be using the background. So we need it to be pretty and even. You don't want to like have it all one side up or down or the other, right? We want to have it pretty much in the center. I think I'm looking at it. I'm eyeballing it. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to put the top plate on carefully and we're going to die cut this. Oh, and we're going to die cut again. If you missed my first one, I recommend you go through a couple of times because the intricate die for my machine, maybe not yours, but for mine, it didn't die cut all the way through when I did it last time. Now it's supposed to come off like this, so don't panic. It's supposed to do some of this. Okay, so here we go. We have our background paper, which we're using on the card kit. And then we have this piece, which needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Where'd my brush go? And if you remember, if you missed it, in the previous card, we cut the handle off of the intricate die cut flowers, and we just used part of the die cut on our card. This time we're going to use the whole thing. So we're not taking it apart this time. We're going to use it just like this, as is. But we've changed up the background a little bit. So you'll need both of these pieces, and you'll need this piece that you would have die cut earlier. So you're using all three of them together. So just kind of sharing with you different ideas, different ways that you can use these fantastic dies. Okay, clean off some of my messes. I can't remember if we're die cutting one more time or not. I think we are. So let me just clean this up real quick because it's got papers all over it. Paper, shrapnel in the craft room is a thing. It's definitely a thing. Okay, so back to our card, back to all the fun and the colors. We need ink. All right, so for this one, we do actually have 3 ink pads. We've got our sentiment piece. We've got a blending brush. We've got our blends. I need to get out my peach pie, and we're bringing in Old Olive from our first card. I think had Old Olive on it. Get everything set up here. This is the ribbon that you're getting a piece of, peach pie ribbon. I have a bow handy and ready to go. So you'll be making a bow with this and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to look at all of the things we need to do. So the colors for this one are Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Early Espresso. I snuck these colors into this card. Ooh, let me pop back over here and make sure. All pie is good pie. That's awesome. Yep, party dots make a card. Absolutely. Okay, you guys are liking the darker card from the second one. I'm just rereading your comments here quickly before I turn back over and get back to business. All right, peach pie. We're going to start with some peach pie. Oh, peach pie sounds really good right now. And we're going to take this die cut. Now there's a pretty side and an ugly side. It comes to you just like this. We're just going to use the dauber, and we're going to just add a little bit of ink here, top, bottom, sides. It's just going to accent this a little bit more and make it stand out or make it outstanding, whichever description you prefer. Stand out or outstanding. There it is, just like that. And it's going to come down here on this little peach pie DSP. And it just looks really cute. It almost looks like a ribbon. That's what I feel about it. Looks a little ribbon-y. All right, I'm trying to decide what I want to show you next because there's so many different things on this one. Let's bring in our sentiment. Again, look for the pretty side of your little label here. This is the I appreciate your thoughtfulness. Again, this little sentiment label comes from the Autumn Leaves dies. Has nothing to do with the Memorable Blooms bundle, but every time you have different dies in all of your different sets, they are so universal. Like you can use them for everything, right? I just want to make sure I got a good ink up image here. So we're going to try this right about here. Straight up, straight down. And it's a little crooked, but it works for me because it's not smeary. That's more important. More important. Okay, so there's my sentiment. We got that on there. Let's do some doctoring up of this beautiful little peach pie cardstock. So let's bring in now this, for bigger jobs, I do like to use my blending brushes. So we're just going to kind of scrub this, and we're going to darken down the outside edges. And I'm basically going from like 10 o'clock down here to maybe like 7 o'clock on my shape. And that's because I'm going to put a whole bunch of things over here. If you can see my card, a whole bunch of things are going to be over here to cover this, so you don't really need to waste your ink. If you're having a good time and you're like, I just need to practice doing my blending and sponging, then absolutely go for it, but you don't necessarily have to add ink, or you don't need it. I'm bringing in early espresso. This may be kind of a bold move, and I hope that you can appreciate. Maybe you don't like it, maybe you do, but I've got some early espresso here on the side, some shading. It brings up the browns that we're going to do our stamping with, and balances our sentiment. So I kind of liked it. Now you may not like this. This may not be like, you might be like, no, I cannot, but that's okay. You can add a little bit, you can add a lot. Some of it gets covered. So if you start darker on the outside and just kind of feather the ink in a little bit, it's just, you know, feel free to be artistic, right? So we're just going to add some in. It's going to look kind of like burnt toast. It's like you burnt your toast. You need to grab a knife. You need to put that toast right over top of the sink. We've all done it, right? Scrape off the burnt parts. But that's basically, we're kind of getting like a burnt look here on this cardstock. And I just think it looks kind of cool. Hey, while the early espresso's out, why don't we stamp our flower on this little piece of white cardstock that's coming to do. So again, we're using this little flower. This kind of reminds me of like the orange blossoms a little bit. I mean, I'm sure it's not, but it's just really pretty and I like it. So that's where I'm going with that. So we're going to color these in with our peach pie blends and our old olive. Just so really, really easy coloring again. This is a really great stamp set if you like easy coloring. I love easy coloring. So it's not super detailed, and you can do it pretty quickly. There's not a lot to it. Sometimes the hardest thing is deciding what's a flower petal and what's a leaf petal. I know you've all been there with me on that one, right? Like sometimes you're like, is that supposed to be a leaf? All right, so there is our dark. Apparently I did the dark first. So since I did the dark first instead of the light, normally I would do light and then dark over top. So since I've already done dark, if you ever do this incorrectly, right, what you can do to get two tones is just go over again with more dark. So when you add that second layer of dark, you're actually also still getting two tones. It's just two darker tones. So you can still shade with just one blender pen. Same thing with the light. So if you just used the light, you could definitely do the same thing. So this time let's do our leaves in light olive, and then we'll come in with some of the dark and do it the correct way. But you know, when you're hanging out with your friends and you're going with the crafty things happen, right? All right, so now I started with the light, and I'm going to just kind of come in and do a little, not too much, just a little bit with the dark, kind of where the lines are on that one. So we get a little bit of that. So definitely different. And I forgot that I was supposed to just color my die cut one and not this one. I had die cut that out already. I guess we can die cut this one, right? I mean, we're hanging out and having a good time. Let's do that quick. We really are almost done with this card. So let's bring in the die cutting machine, and we'll grab our little die that matches this beautiful flower and leaf. So just spin that around until you find the right rotation to cover the outside edges. And here we go. We're gonna do a little extra die cutting tonight. This is like bonus die cutting. Option 2 would have been to recolor the die cut that I had already stamped and, you know, die cut out. I could have done that, but I chose to go with this route. Sometimes die cutting is faster than coloring, right? Does that make sense? All right, so I think we have everything. We're gonna do a little doctoring up of this die cut, and we're going to bring in our daubers. We've got Peach Pie and Old Olive, and you know what, I probably have some ink still on here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of add a little bit here where we think we have flowers. That worked out nicely. And the green I haven't used too recently, so we're going to actually open this up, and then we're going to just kind of add a little bit of green here wherever we think we have some green leaves. Now we're not getting too crazy, but we are adding just a little bit of color to that. Hopefully you can see it. It is pretty. While we have this dauber out though, let's bring in our white die cut leaves from the Autumn Leaves dies, and I'm just going to go around the edges a little bit. I love a white leaf with some gold or green or whatever color you're using. I said gold, but I meant green. Whatever color you're using. I love it just because it's so bright that way. The white is bright, and I like that. Okay, I think we're ready to assemble this one. So let's see how this is all going to go together. Let me move my ink pads out of the way, and we're going to put this one together so you can see how this is going to work. Let me get all my pieces here. Boy, I got things everywhere. All right, I'm going to recommend you start from the bottom up. Normally I start from the top and go down. Keep in mind that this has little like holes in it, right? So this is almost like a little colander. So just be gentle with your glue if you can, if it wants to work. That'd be fancy. We're going to just try to, there it comes. Okay, just a little bit. I want just the tiniest little bit on the top and bottom is where there's like no holes. I'm getting very little glue out, to be honest with you. And if I press too hard on this glue bottle, it's going to all plop out. Okay, I think I have just enough to make this stick. It is sticky glue after all, right? So you don't need a ton. All right, so we sponged this. It was really pretty. We're putting it right onto our designer series paper. I'm going right across the middle. You can choose to change that up a little bit if you want to. And we're going to see now that we're working with something a little bit more substantial. Get my glue flowing again. All right, so which way does this open? Just like that. We're going to put this on the bottom. So we're working from the bottom up. So we're starting with the bottom. This is very rare for me. So, you know, I have to breathe through this one, right? All right, now this piece that we die cut out, we're going to use the frame. This is going to come on. So you can kind of turn it around and see which way you think it looks the nicest. But I think we're going this route with it. So we're going to put some glue down. There is enough room here to get glue on all of your edges. Obviously the corners are a little bit bigger. There we go. Now this is going to come down. So this white is almost going to come over your designer series paper a little bit. We're matting this just like so. Just like that. How fancy is that? And I feel like there's like a smudgy thing there. Okay, we're gonna maybe cover that up, or I'll pick it off later. Either way, look how cute that is so far, right? Beautiful. I really am bothered by this little glob of glue. Okay, I think I got it. All right, now we're gonna puzzle piece fit this burnt toast into the frame. Okay, so this is going to go in here like this. So it's raising it up a little bit. We're not working, I mean, you could just pop this on here and be like, ta-da! But I wanted this to have a little bit more substance. So see, when you put this on top, you just get that little bit of burnt toast there, like just a little bit, just like that. And it just brings it up forward a little bit. So different ways that you can, once again, different ways you can use this, try this out, see what you like. You can play with so many different colors with this, which is fantastic too. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to put this whole thing down. So we have to go very delicately with our adhesive all around the edges. And try to not gloop up too much. And then I'm just going to pick spots here in the middle of my die where I feel like it can hold a little bit more glue. I'm not going to go crazy and do every little part and piece. Just wherever I think it's gonna work. I don't know how much glue I got on the, there we go, edges. Okay, so now that that's all fancy and pretty, we're gonna put this in just like so. So it's fitting into this little frame that we die cut. And just line that up in there best you can. There's a little bit of wiggle room with the glue, which is helpful, right? Okay, so I'm gonna just pop that down a little bit so you can see where we're going with that. Okay, now we're gonna add in our little leaves. These guys are gonna just, both of them are gonna come up to the top. So just a little bit of glue here and here. Just so they kind of hang out there on the side, or your finger. They could hang out on your finger if you have extra glue on your hands. When you pick up your hand, you might like accidentally pull it right off your card. That's a thing too. I just did that. And then we're going to pop the flowers on with some dimensionals. So let's grab those out. I'm going to do maybe a couple of them on here. They're going to be snug, but I'm going to fit 2. And you can decide which way you want them to go. I think they look nicest like this. So we're gonna put them on. We're gonna kind of cover the bottom of our leaves a little bit there. We're kind of coming around the corner here of this cute little die cut. We're gonna bring our sentiment piece in and pop it over here. So I need more dimensionals. This time I'm gonna just go 3 across, tic-tac-toe. And then we're gonna put this on right side up. Right side up would be really pretty. I think right side up is the good choice here. So you can tuck this in a little bit under your flowers, just like that. Super sweet. And we have our ribbon. And I did the bow earlier. We're going to add this on with some tear and tape. And I never know which side of my bow is prettier. We're going to go this way. Okay. Sometimes the knot lies in different directions. I like to flip it around and see what makes the most sense. We're going to go this way. So we're just going to add this in. Oh, so cute, right? You can adjust it a little bit if you need to. Trim the ends if you need to. And this is definitely something that is so much brighter than my normal color palette. I have a hard time using the orangey colors. And Peach Pie is definitely an orangey color. But it is bright and sunny and fun. And I had to try it out. So I'm going to just bring some of my little party dots in here, my Peach Pie party dots. It worked out really well. And there it is, just like that. Fun, fun, fun. So there was another way that you can use this great bundle, just like so. All right, we have one more card. I'm going to check messages real quick before we jump into card number 4. Oh my gosh, a grand finale card. You know they're always the most awesome cards of all, right? Okay, make sure you're hanging out with me. Let me know if you like this card. Give me some loves out there if you love it. Lois said that really well. Shadow box look of the card. That's really good. Hi, Jess. Oh, I'm sorry that Allison's not feeling well. Oh my gosh. Take care of your family, Jess. You can always watch this later. Lori says this well. Not my favorite color, but I like the card. I totally agree because Peach Pie is not really my color. I know there's people out there that really love the bright colors. It works really well. All right, so for something different in our grand finale, we're going to do, sadly not purple, but the next best thing would be pink. This is a really fun card. Pretty in pink, another in color. This is a current in color. I love the pink and green paper, the soft seafoam, the pretty in pink, the melon mambo. This combination makes me super happy. You're getting an emboss piece. This is the Starstruck embossing folder, and it is a Sale-A-Bration freebie. So if you need something with your $60 purchase, get this folder if you don't have it yet. This is actually watercolor paper. You're getting a 2-inch melon mambo punch piece and a 1 3/4 inch white in case you're playing at home and you're like, what are we doing with all this stuff? This is so pretty. I love this one. This one is it just makes me happy. I think this would be a really cute birthday card too, by the way. This says thanks so much. There's actually not a birthday sentiment in the stamp set, but you can mix and match other sentiments you have at home. But look how delicate and beautiful it is. This is the watercolor paper right here. We're going to turn this paper into this piece right here. So I'm going to share with you how awesome it is to do that. Before we do that though, we're going to put the bones of our card kit together because this is fabulous. Oh, thanks, Lynn. I'm glad you're loving these cards so much. This was such a fun bundle for me to design with. If I didn't mention it, or if I hadn't said it 5 times yet, I love this bundle. It was so easy. I popped together these this past weekend. I put this design set together for this card class, and then same weekend, I did 4 more card designs for my Card Maker Club, which are completely different. I have 4 more cards that I'm going to share with you and give you a sneak peek for my Card Maker Club. at the end of this class. So, and they're so different from the ones that I'm doing now, like, but also in a good way. Like, these are beautiful, soft colors. They're just, I love them. I love the colors, but the Card Maker Club is going in a different direction, and I can't wait to share with you like even more ideas. Oh, this is super cute. All right, so if you're not using the memorable blooms, maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to just place an order and get these card kits in. You can play right here. You've got an instant birthday card, just like this. You've got your designer series paper. If you have a leaf die, you could put a leaf in here if you wanted to. There is a leaf right here. But yeah, there you go, just like that. This paper is so cute. This is a fun paper, and we are still putting together the bones of the card kit. So let's continue on. I get distracted sometimes by the awesomeness of crafty goodness in front of me. Like, I can't help it. I love all of it. All right, so some really great bones here. We are going to glue down this really pretty paper, and we're going to use the stripy paper. I love the stripes. I know some people are stripe people. I love stripes. I don't know why. I love it. Right? So we've got the stripies here. This is going to go on with dimensionals. So we're going to do as much of this as we can before we get to our watercolor class, the part of our class where we actually do some watercoloring. So that's coming right up. Stay tuned. Don't go too far. I'm going to put these on in a little bit of a different pattern. I'm going to explain why as I pop this on. So you're going to see that I've kept them kind of up to the top and down to the bottom. That's because I have this cardstock that runs across. So I don't necessarily need extra depth right there in the middle. I have enough. Like, it's okay. There's a little bit of extra support there with that little piece of melon mambo that goes across. So instead of making things kind of lumpy and bumpy, which is what would happen if you put too many dimensionals down where you've got too much cardstock, I'm just going to kind of go with just like this. Now your piece of soft seafoam that you're getting, you're going to die cut the leaf, just like we die cut in our very first card of the night. We did one in Azure Afternoon. It's a really pretty blue. If you haven't seen it, we did that. I will share the cards here at the very end as well, so you can kind of see what we created tonight in class in case you jumped in late. We're going to put this off to the side like this. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful card kit going on right there. This one, oh, I love these colors. So pretty and bright. Okay, we're going to stamp the happy birthday. If I had a happy birthday stamp, I would stamp it. Where is my bucket? Here it is. It's way over here. I have so much going on for this one. I have like a bucket full of stuff. Let me grab my ink pad and Melon Mambo. And thanks so much. So we're just going to do the circle for right now. And then we're going to jump into... We're going to do a little bit of heat embossing, some coloring with ink refills. Oh, look at that. I got one of those lovely little lines. So we're going to do this again. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to try side number 2. Don't rock your stamp. Just straight up and down. Ah, there we go. So much better. Okay, that's better. There we go. All right, let me put this away. That's our Melon Mambo. Put that over there. We're going to glue this together. And then we really just have this piece that we're going to... No one knows when you made a boo-boo if you glue it down. So just make sure you add enough adhesive that no one can peek on the underside of it. All right, thanks so much. There's our card. Now we're going to take care of this piece right here. This is the fun part. This is the learning part, right? We're bringing in Versamark. I've got my little emboss buddy. I've got a good amount of Melon Mambo ink on my fingernail. Okay, we're doing white embossing powder. And you may think that, like, that's the craziest thing in the world, Julie. What are you doing? Well, I'm going to show you why and how it's all going to work together. So Versamark, and where is that lovely big flower stamp? Oh, yes. Remember from, I think it was our very first card. We used this big bouquet of flowers. So you want to make sure your Versamark ink is really nice and juicy. The pad. Like, right, lots of ink on it because you need, this is watercolor paper, so it's going to absorb more ink, and you need it to be really wet for this to work. So we're just going to go ahead and put this down right in the middle. Is fine. We're going to die cut this. I'm just going to press that down for a second. Make sure I've got my spoon and my little bucket of embossing powder ready to go. Now I can't even see. I'm sure on camera you can't see either. You can see 0 things right now. It's like a blizzard. You can see 0 things. But we are going to get this powdered up. and then we're going to heat emboss it. And then once we get going on it, you'll be able to see it better. I don't know if you can see it at all or not, and that's okay. If you can't, we still have time to get that all under control so you can see it. Let me turn on my heat tool. We're going to heat this up just for a second. And I will get my little tweezers on here. And as soon as it's warm, you can start working on it. Okay, I think we're good. Making sure. Looks shiny and pretty. And it's still really, really hard to see. I know it's really hard to see. Like, you can barely see. There is some gloss and shine to it, so hopefully randomly you can catch that. But we are going to do so much to do to this. Now, this happens to be one of the greatest inventions ever. This is actually part of the glass mat studio, and I love this when I get inky and messy. So I'm bringing in ink refills for this one. I've got Pretty in Pink, Melon Mambo. Look at this, is an old label in case you were like haven't seen some of the old school stuff. This is still, I mean, this ink is still good. And I also have Soft Seafoam. So those are my ink choices. And we're gonna need the water painters. And the water painters come in a set of 3. You put water in the barrel, so hopefully you can kind of see like that these two have different ends to them. These are a little bit bigger, like a really big one. We're not using those. We're going to use the one with the teeny tiniest little brush. And I've loaded this up. This is full of water. So you just unscrew the cap, you put water in, you put the cap back on, you're good to go. All right, so watercoloring. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put some water down here because I want water to watercolor with. And we're going to start with the leaves. So I'm going to start with the you want to do one at a time, one color at a time. So I'm going to add a little bit of Soft Seafoam right there, and we're just going to go to town. So it's going to be hard for you to see probably, but I'm going to pick up the water from this little pool right here rather than squeeze this out onto my watercolor paper. What I want to do is I want to wet down my watercolor paper where the leaves are. Whoops, I think I colored a flower already. So we're just going to go ahead and add that in. Some of the water will pool up really well on the paper. It's designed to do that. We're going to pick up a little bit of the ink with our brush, so it's kind of, we're adding like it's watery. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. And then I'm just going to start adding this in. So it's going to run a little bit here where I'm adding it, but the embossing helps to keep the ink within a contained area. So I love this effect. When you heat emboss, it kind of just gives you some instant lines to work with. Now, as I'm dipping my painter brush, which has green ink on it from the refill, into the water, it's going to make it green, and that's okay, because I'm going to just color in right now the leaf sections that I still need to make green anyway, but I want to add water first so that the ink refill runs nicely into this area. And I do have a paper towel on hand tonight. I remembered to bring one in so I can blot if needed. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of work my way around and look at the leaves that are on here. Now this is probably more tedious and fussy than using your blender pens to color, but this is something that just is such a wow thing to do. Okay, I think I have everything ready now where I can just add in my green ink refill here to the leaves. So I'm just going to kind of brush that in a little bit. So as you add, sometimes the leaves will be darker and sometimes your coloring will be lighter. It depends on how intense the ink is as you add water to it, right? So you can, if you're looking for something darker, you can always add a little bit more ink refill to this. And you can always go back in and add more ink and water onto something that you've already colored. If you want to add like a little bit of extra dark, you can do so. So the watercolor paper is perfect for this because it really holds the water If it kind of bubbles up for you too much, you can just grab a little bit of paper towel and kind of soak up some of that ink, and it will like instantly be gone off of your watercolor paper, and then you can come back in with more ink if you need to. So you can see, hopefully you can see, I know my camera's kind of far away, but as we get going with this, we're gonna do more. So we're gonna do the flowers next. What I want to do is I want to clean off my brush from the green because we're still using. So I just squeeze some water out of the barrel, put it onto a paper towel or a baby wipe or something, clean the brush off. I'm going to just put some extra water up here now because we're going to come in with pretty in pink next. So I'm going to let my green set there. If I decide to do more green, I will. But a little bit of pretty in pink right there. So with the water first, I'm going to come in and just kind of wet down my paper so I have something wet to work on. I'll do these big flowers first. And then bring in some of this. This is where the magic happens. When you see the pink, it's so pretty. And again, just kind of brushing into those areas. So if I hit a flower without doing any water wash first, it's going to be definitely darker, and it also doesn't kind of run the way that it would if you hit it with water before you hit it with the ink refill. It just absolutely looks way more natural and pretty if you do the water first. I didn't do water on this one. Okay, so tedious work, but really worthwhile. So beautiful. So I'm just going to kind of quickly cover up the rest of the flowers here. I need a little bit of water. Make sure I'm catching them all. These are so pretty, and seeing it in person is really pretty too. I did share a picture on my Facebook page earlier. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that needs coloring. I see that I missed some leaves. We have to go back a little bit and do green. I have way more paper towel than that. This is silliness. Okay, let's just do a little bit more green here. I missed some leaves. And then we're going to come back through and do our final little bit of color. And I probably should have put some pink here. There we go. All right, I think I have. I'm going to lift this up just for a second. So you can see it's probably pretty shiny in the light. Now that looks nice, but we're going to add a little bit of Melon Mambo, and we're going to change it up even more. So we're going with a darker pink next. So we've got our kind of our lighter pinks in there. And we're going to just, you can play with like how much intense you want here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the color in just around the center of the flower. So I don't know if my camera will pick this up well or not, but I just added the extra dark ink right at the center. And then I let it run a little bit. So you're getting that two-tone look of the ink petals, right? Or the flower petals. And it's just so pretty. So again, I'm just gonna kind of put that around the center of each of these little flowers, give it like a little bit of a darker color. You can go back through and do your smaller blooms if you want them to be really dark. Do your smaller blooms and just add in those two tones of color. It's just really pretty. So hopefully you can see that in the, hopefully that's picking up well in the camera. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. All right, and that's pretty much it. Like that's what she should look like. I'm just gonna, I have a lot of dark ink on my Melon Mambo. The Melon Mambo is really dark. So just clean this up as best you can. When you're all done, I'm going to come through with a baby wipe and make sure that gets cleaned up. This all just wipes up nicely. It's watercolor ink. Watercolor. It's water-based ink. So you can just clean this back up again. It's not gonna, it may stain a little bit, but I've been through pretty quickly after I get done with this, and I haven't had it like stain horribly, but we're not done yet, so we're just going to let that dry for a second, and then we're going to do our die cutting, and I'm going to show you how it all comes together, because right now it looks a little discombobulated. You see some really pretty flowers and leaves, absolutely, but there's a lot of space in between, and you may be wondering what is going on with all that space in between. We're going to just try to make this be a little bit drier. I don't want to run this through the die cutting machine when it's super wet. As you can see here, we daubed off a little bit. It's still so pretty though. I love this. I would probably recommend you make a whole bunch of these at once, and then that way you have them ready to go and you don't have to get out all your inks and all the wet stuff you can just have some ready to go onto cards that you want to make in the future. So we're going to die cut this. We're bringing in the die that's going to go around our pretty bouquet, just like so. If I can get that on there, I want to make sure it's pretty evenly put onto that. We're going to die cut the watercolor paper and our beautiful pretty coloring. I think I almost like this kind of coloring better than blender pens and markers. And so you can see here it is really pretty, right? But the white embossing section and the white watercolor paper, it's hard to see really what's going on. So we're going to come in here with some soft seafoam ink and a blending brush, and we're going to softly come across this, and then that way it's just going to make this seem way more, it's going to make it make sense. Basically, we're going to just bring this in, and now the white lines that we heat embossed earlier are going to stand out. So now you can see the white lines, and we didn't put so much ink on that we've really destroyed our flowers or our leaves. This one is definitely darker than my first one. I add a little bit more there, but the lines, the embossed lines, will not hold the ink. It's like an ink resist technique. So there we go. We're just going to pop this on now. I did not put this on dimensionals. I glued this down flat. You could definitely put some dimensionals on here if you wanted to. I'm just kind of laying it at another angle with the original soft seafoam leaf die cut. This one I did put on dimensionals, so we'll pop this on dimensionals real quickly. And then I'm going to bring in all of the cards from the class tonight, share those with you, and then I'm going to bring in the sneak peek for the Card Maker Club. If you didn't catch the beginning of the class, I talked all about how Card Maker Club works, what you get, what it's about, and I said I would share my cards that I have tonight so you could see them and get an idea. So there we go. Thanks so much. Isn't that beautiful? It's just really a pretty card. Love these colors. They're just so soft and gorgeous. Let's check out all the cards then from this class. We have our peach pie along with our pretty in pink. Now remember, these are the card kits you're getting in the mail with your order this week. We have our pool party, which we did a little color flipping on some of these ones too. And we have our Azure Afternoon. So there we go. We've got 4 cards with this beautiful Memorable Blooms bundle. Lots of different ways that I've used the dies, some ways that I didn't use the dies at all. Just kind of gives you some ideas of how beautiful these cards are. And I hope you have a favorite. I would love to know which one is your favorite too. So there's the card class. Now we're gonna move these out of the way because you've watched me make these all night. You know what they look like. You're also gonna get pictures. If you're ever interested in getting a nice picture of these cards, I share them in my emails twice a week. So you're going to get an email from me tomorrow that's going to show you a gorgeous picture, a Pinterest-worthy picture of each of these cards. So you'll have a great picture there. I also send one out on Friday to remind you it's the last day that you can order for the week to get these cards. So there's a couple of opportunities to get really good pictures of my cards in case my video is blurry and crazy. Totally understand that. Now let's talk about Card Maker Club for February. So as I talked about earlier, Memorable Blooms is our bundle. Now you don't have to use it, but it sure comes in handy. And then for the Designer Series paper, you get a half a pack of the plaid paper, and I can't think, I'm drawing a blank right now, but this is the DSP. It's 6x6, so you're getting a half a pack of this paper. You can see the colors that are in here. They're really neutral, they're rich, they're earthy, they're gorgeous plaids. They're really versatile. You're gonna be using these all the time now, right? So you're getting a half a pack of this. This is more than one pack, but you're getting a half pack of that with the February Card Maker Club. This is the Timeless Plaid DSP. It may or may not still be on back order, but I have enough hopefully covered for everybody that wants to get February Club. You're getting a pack of the antique pearls. So these are the antique pearls. You get a pack of that. You're getting a pack of the petal pink and white diagonal trim. Now this is basically 2 ribbons in one. So you're getting 2 bolts of ribbon. So here's your ribbons right here. Petal pink and white. So you can see the colors, you can see how nicely they're going to go with all of this designer series paper, these great colors, right? So those are your consumables: paper, embellishment, ribbon, and then you're getting 8 card kits. So you guys are dying to see these, I know. So I'm just going to show you quickly, but this is one of them. So we've got Pebbled Path, Cajun Craze. This is another one. We're doing Petal Pink, and we've got the greens in that one. This is a blue, a boho blue, with a little bit of crumb and espresso. And then this one right here is the Moody Mauve. So in the Card Maker Club, you make 2 each of the 4 designs. So you can see that they're completely different from what we just did in our card class. Different colors because we're going with different papers, different ribbons. They look lovely together. You are in charge of cutting up your paper in Card Maker Club. So that means you have a whole half a pack here. If you wanted to change up any of these designs, you could definitely choose to go in another direction. You've got so much paper to choose from that will work really nicely with these cards in the kit. And that is a look at sneak peek. That was your sneak peek right there. I hope you guys loved it. It was your sneak peek of February Card Maker Club. I love this bundle, and it was so easy for me to create with it. I just had so much fun with it. All right, Patty says the pink is her favorite. Peach pie. Oh my gosh, you like the peach pie card? That is so awesome. I was hoping that someone would like that one. Lois says I'm sold. Yeah, these cards are, this bundle is just, it's so easy. I had so much fun making cards with them. Lori says she likes all of them. The blue one's her favorite. I know, right? I have to go back. I just looked at the Card Maker Club, so I'm like, which one? Oh yeah, blue one. Really pretty cards. So totally different card vibes when you change up the paper pack, like, right? So you can change up other designer series paper and mix it in, and you can make even more cards. Now, if anyone is interested in Card Maker Club, you have until the 20th to sign up for this kit. So this kit is with a Timeless Plaid DSP, the ribbon I shared with you, the embellishment. Next month, whole new bundle, different paper, different embellishment, different ribbon, 8 more cards, basically 2 each of 4 designs. And it's all coming to you for $45. So $45 gets you the Card Maker Club. New Card Maker friends, you get a welcome gift, you get a 6-month gift, you get a referral gift. There's lots of gifts and surprises and fun involved as well. So I hope I've answered all your questions on Card Maker Club. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you want to do that privately, you can. Sandra Johnson, I'm so glad that you love the cards. I thought maybe you might like them. So, and I hope I've answered all your questions on how the class runs and how the club runs. 2 different sets of cards completely. Now, if you want all of it, you want all the things, right? You place an order this week with me, minimum $45 is going to get you the card class that I shared tonight with the pretty colors, right? The peach pie and the pretty pink and the pool party and the this is the class this week. So you're getting 1 each of 4 designs. You'll get the embellishment that I use, the party dots, when you go to 55. Of course, if you go to 60, you get a Sale-A-Bration item because we're still in Sale-A-Bration. And then if you're in club, you get the bundle at the catalog price if you want it. You don't have to get it. If you already have it, that's great. You already have it. You can get both of the classes and be able to create. But the club will come with designer series paper, ribbon embellishment, different card kits. So you have really, then you'd have 8 different designs because you're going to get email recipes for all of them. So you have lots of designs that you can use. So I'm glad that you understand, Sandra. I'm so glad I could answer your questions. I know Janice had questions too. So Janice, if you have any follow-up questions on how this works, please let me know. You do have to sign up. You sign yourself up. You set up this auto pay for Card Maker Club with whatever debit or credit card you choose. And then when you decide to cancel it, you go in and cancel it. And then, you know, you're all set there too. So I will leave it at that. And I hope you guys enjoy this class. Please share some love if you loved it. Give me some likes and loves. Let me know in the comments that you really enjoyed it because I love to hear from you. And so that's what I got. You guys are awesome. I'll come back through and read your comments, answer any questions you have. But until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.